job you can do online that is actually well paid and therefore worth your while. If you are like me, you're not interested in jobs 15,000 to 35,000 naira monthly, but an income which can genuinely support you and your family living a good life. So if that is you, know that in today's video, I'm going to share with you 6 of the best paid jobs you can do online from home, all of which you can make 100,000 naira weekly. So we are not talking about virtual assistance or completing surveys online or selling handmade items on Etsy, where the pay and profit is evident. Now, if we haven't met before, it's lovely to meet you. I earned my very first dollar online in 2018 and I've been earning an income online for almost 5 years now. Every job I'm going to share with you today, I've either done personally or have hired someone to do for my business. And I'm going to rate each job on 3 criteria. First, how hard it is to learn the job and actually get started. How quickly you can potentially and slowly takes to make 10 months. And third, I'll also rate it on the level of freedom and lifestyle quality. As for me, those were the 3 most important factors in choosing what I work or what I wanted to do online. By the way, Rolade is an online marketplace that connects freelancers selling their services with clients looking to hire someone for a project. You definitely can make money on Rolade as a freelancer since our platform acts as an online marketplace for freelancers and businesses to connect with each other. There are plenty of opportunities available where you can earn a decent income by providing your services. And if you are a buyer, it's very easy to find the right person for the job. No matter what the job is, Rolade's homepage automatically recommends several freelancers and services on offer. Or you can also search for exactly what you are looking for. Go to www.rolade.com to get started. Now back to the video. Number 1 is a content creator, also known as an influencer or blogger or vlogger. I started an entertainment blog way back in the day. Now, hard it is to learn to be a content creator and get started exactly. Well, for me, I bought bring every single blog and podcast and free resource that I could find online to learn about the field. And then I also took a course specifically on the business of entertainment blogging at the time. And overall, it took me a couple of months to really piece together how exactly to make content that people want to consume and to start earning an income off of it. Now, criteria number 2 is why I didn't continue pursuing this path. I learned the hard way that making money from content creation was a super long game. The way that most content creators monetize their business is through brand deals or affiliate links or selling a product that you pay yourself. Sometimes this is a digital product, sometimes it is a physical product. And also in the entertainment blogging world, specifically selling ads to your audience, that was also a monetization strategy. So depending on the niche of your content creation, there could be other options for you too. Now, all of those monetization options, however, required a fair-sized audience. And after I got into this and tapped my taxes, I realized that making real money from content creation would likely take years to build up, following me to the point where I would actually have the followers, enough followers to make this a really crucial full-time income. So if you have the luxury of time and to build a following through literally years of unpaid hours, then being a content creator can be incredible pay and really exponential income growth down the line. But again, remember, it's a long game of unpaid hours to build the following. To make this possible, it's possible multiple years to get the audience to do 100k months, and from there, once you have built that audience, income really doesn't take off and is highly scalable. The second job is being a website designer, and this is what I choose to do personally after I scraped my entertainment blogging dream as an entertainment blogger. I would have built my own websites and love designing the thing, so I figured, heck, why not build websites for other people and earn an income that way? After I looked into it, it turns out that web design is one of the best paid freelance jobs. Around 70,000 to 250,000 per project is pretty standard for new designers. And web designers tend to be able to do a couple of projects per month with myself and a lot of my students. In terms of how hard it is to learn the job and get started, I would say this is easier than most minds initially imagine. Being a web designer no longer requires you to learn how to code, which was always the scary bit that kept people like me from doing the job back in the day. But instead, these days, you just need to get really good at working with one website, building platforms, something like WordPress or Showit or Shopify with some dedication to online tutorials and slash or maybe a course, or just a lot of trial and error yourself. You could easily learn to become pretty decent at one of the most website building platforms in a matter of weeks or a couple of months. And potentially like me, if you have tried anything online before, you might have actually been developing this skill without even actually thinking about it. Next, how quickly or slowly it will take to make 100,000 a month with this one. Well, let's start with the important bit. How long does it take to land your self-paying website? Clients actually surveyed over 200,000 web designers and the full results of the survey. As we think below and above, but 61% of designers landed a paying client after they even officially launched their business. So this is definitely an in-demand service, but to get to 100k a month, it requires landing consistent clients. Web designers could technically complete maybe 2 projects per month. You would need to command rates of 50,000 per project to reach your 100,000 naira a month. Number 3, being an online business manager, aka an OBM. So a few years back, I was looking for someone to be able to take the day of managing my business off of my plate. So to manage my team and our projects and our launches and admin and all the rest of that sort of day-to-day stuff. So I hunted for an interview, probably 15 of them. Now, if you are more familiar with the corporate world and are kind of like the online sort of equivalent of a project manager or for a bigger businesses. So in terms of how hard it is to learn this job, I do need to state a potentially unpopular opinion. And that is that a lot of people calling themselves OBM actually have no clue how to do this job properly. A lot of virtual assistants who want higher pay change their title to without any really up-leveling their skills much. And I know of a few business owners who have had to let go pretty quick because when it became clear that they didn't really have the skills to do the job well. So in terms of how hard it is to learn this job and get started, I would say you either want a background in project management, and also you could do a good years as a VA where you have really grown in the independence and decision-making ability, and definitely have taken an online course on how to do this job with someone who is legit. And OBS charges around $40 to $60 an hour. And so working 40 hours a week, you would make 6,700 a month, charging 40 per hour, or just break the 10 months by charging $60 an hour. Now, to get to the point where you are commanding $60 per hour, I would say it would be a few years of gaining experience to get there. The really good thing that I need to mention about being an OBS is that, as I said, you typically keep the same clients month to month, meaning that once you've landed those clients and you keep them happy, it isn't super necessary to keep marketing yourself and finding new clients. Which brings me to freedom and lifestyle quality. So when it comes to freedom, this job is probably one of the worst of all ones which I'll talk about today. Of course, I would say any of these jobs are better than a 9 to 5 by so far. But in comparison to the other ones that will speak about this, one probably isn't the best in this category. Being an OBS is one-to-one service provision. And because the clients are consistent, that's great, as you don't always need to be going and finding new clients. But that also means that the business owner is probably going to be hiring you and expecting you to be the one running the day-to-day of the business while they are living their life. So I wouldn't expect to be able to take any really long periods of vacation from this kind of job. So for that reason, I would give this a 4 out of 10 in terms of freedom and lifestyle quality. Number 4 in our final one-to-one service provision option is an ads manager. So that could be Facebook and Instagram ad managers, Google ad managers, YouTube ads, Pinterest ads. Those tend to be the main ads platforms granted. I would not recommend learning them all. You really just need to get good at one ad platform, and they are pretty different. So the learning curve will be a lot shorter if you choose to learn just one rather than all of them in terms of length and time. To learn this, I would say this is similar to web design with dedication to some online tutorials and slash or maybe a course. You could pretty easily become decent at ads management in a couple of weeks or months. Of course, trial and error isn't quite as possible with this job as maybe web design, because that would require you pouring a lot of your money into ads to do the testing and the learning. So I would suggest either taking a course or doing a free client which you offer the services of your management free, and then you use their money to actually spend on the ads. Or potentially you could work for other ads management agencies where they look over your work and give you feedback. And that would be another good way to learn. Now, in terms of pay, ad managers tend to take on a few clients at a time, maybe like 3 to 5, and charge anywhere from $1,500 a month to $5,000 a month to each client. So to get 10 months, I think you'll be looking at a few months of learning, maybe working for an agency where you could make a portion of what the client actually pays to really hone your skills with oversight. Or you could do a few clients for free, using their money to learn while running the ads, and then potentially striking out on your own. So I would say probably 1 to 2 years to get those 10 months. And in terms of freedom and lifestyle quality, I would rate this about the same as being an OBM. Some clients will be spending tens of thousands of dollars per week on ads, and they are definitely going to want someone overseeing that ad at all times. So if you want to take time off, you are likely going to need to pay someone to take over for you while you are away and build a team. Granted, in terms of day-to-day work, this job doesn't require a ton of client calls, and it's pretty flexible in terms of when you do your work in a week. So that's a major positive. Next, let's talk about 2 super scalable jobs. These next 2 are not one-to-one service provision, but they are more passive style income streams and jobs. Number 5 is selling digital templates. Think social media templates, web templates, PowerPoint slides templates, Lego templates, calendar templates, those sort of things. So first, how hard it is to learn this job and get started. Honestly, I would say this one is fairly easy compared to the other. A lot of people kind of fall into this one because they have done it themselves and loved it. So if you find yourself loving designing slides on Canva or making websites in Squarespace, you've probably been teaching yourself this one and without actually even thinking about it. A few weeks to learn how to make really well-created, styled and branded templates. And you are off the races, friend. Now, the same with this job, which would take longer than learning to create the actual template themselves, is learning how to sell them. You pretty much have 3 options when it comes to selling strategies. First, become obsessed with learning what it takes to raise to the top of the rankings on sites like Etsy and Creative Market. Or second, building an audience and selling the templates on your own website to your own people. Or third, getting affiliates to promote them for you. So I actually hit $10,000 a month. Alternatively, you could crack the code on getting your templates to rank at the top of creative marketplaces or a lot of template shops that I know. The Creative Law Shop, who sells little templates, or Tonic Site Shop, and Go Live AQ, and Big Cat Creative, which sells website templates, they all use affiliates. And this could just take a matter of weeks or months to build an online affiliate program and onboard some affiliates with audiences who need what it is that you are selling. So between learning to create templates, creating the scenes, and then setting up your sales strategy, I think maybe 6 months to a year to get this built out to the point that it could make $10,000 a month is realistic. Now, in terms of income, of course, we need to talk about the price of the templates, as some of these cost a lot more than others. People are not likely to spend $400 to get an Instagram image template or maybe a PowerPoint slide template. They are probably not going to pay $400 for that, but they are super likely to buy a $400 website template or a logo template. And of course, the higher the template cost, the smaller the audience that you need to build in order to hit 10 months. So to reach your goals faster, I would suggest creating something at a higher price, as it would probably take years to make $10,000 a month. If you are selling, say for example, $5 printable templates, now in terms of freedom and lifestyle quality, I would put this right up there at the top. Maybe it's like a 9.5 out of 10. It's pretty much doesn't get better than this. You can batch your work, take off however long you want for vacation. You have no one-to-one client work in this style of business. You'll probably get questions and you will need to do customer service for these templates and for your potential customers. And since the internet functions 365 days a year, you probably want to outsource some customers service in order to get to the complete 10 out of the 10 freedom that you are looking for. But until you hire that customer service person, I would say that again. This would get a 9.5 out of 100 in my books in terms of freedom. The last one is online course sales. So in order to sell an online course, you're going to want to be an expert in something. Now, you might think, oh, Paige is going to take me ages to become an expert in something. But honestly, I think that there's probably something that you are already an expert at, that you could probably teach a course on. So for example, I had moved to Germany as an expert, and just by the nature of having done that, I was kind of an expert as moving to Germany as an expert. Granted, I never actually created a course on moving to Germany. I wasn't that super passionate about the topic, but I did decide to start a course on how to be a web designer after I had actually run a web design business for myself for a good while. So the length of time to learn to teach the right thing could very well be nothing, as most course creators teach on something that they are already an expert on. In terms of length of time to build the course itself, this can be as long as short as you like it to be. So some people pre-record the entire course, others decide to deliver the course content live, which means really not so much upfront work. Just make yourself an outline. Now, the thing which will take the most amount of time when it comes to courses is preparing the marketing materials, like the sales page and the sales emails and the posts. And of course, building the audience. Audience building will take the most time for this one. The rest is really the easier and faster bit now in terms of how quickly or how slowly it will take to make it $10,000 a month that we need to talk about typical course pricing. So courses tend to range in prices from a few $100s per course to a few $1,000s per course. So depending on your course price, let's say maybe you sell 20 courses at $500 a course. Or alternatively, if you offer course price, you could sell 5 courses at $2,000 a course to hit your 10K a month. Now, in order to do that, think honestly. If you focus your efforts on audience building for a few good months, you could build the audience to make these courses sales possible in just a few months of really concentrated effort. Now, I sold my first course after 1 year of consistent blogging and email list building. So building my audience on my first launch, I made $19,000. So that's just one example, but I hope that gives you a rough idea of what I look like for me at least. So in terms of freedom and lifestyle quality, this is almost the same as template sales. I'll put it right up at a 9.5 out of 10. As a course creator myself, I can take weeks off for vacation. My work is boring. I've had almost no calls and meetings. So this really is the freedom business dream. And if you have a team to manage the customer service, I would actually give it a 10 out of a 10 again. Now, getting to 10 a month is really just the beginning. Over the years, I've built out 7 income streams in my business, which makes $62,500 a month. And I learned a lot in the process of building these income streams. So I did all of that in this video. Be sure to watch it next to get a peek at what is possible for you to a few years down the line in online business and the big lessons I learned when building out so many income streams. Thanks so much for watching and see you in the next video.